Hey everyone, you're tuning in to another episode of On Social with Nikki Nicole. I am your host, Nikki Nicole, and we are sitting here with two wonderful ladies from the Lipstick and Politics. How you doing, ladies?
Great.
Today we have Lakeisha Gant and also Kedra Bannon. Welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank each and every one of you for being on, for accepting to speak on Lipstick and Politics. You are busy ladies doing a lot of things, and I really wanted to expose that to the world out here and let them know exactly who you are and what do you do. So how y'all been doing?
Great.
It's been a busy week, y'all. It's been a crazy week, but it's been a blessed week. I'll start with you, Kedra. Kedra Speaks has a book that she actually just had a book launching yesterday, and it looked amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Tell
you.
me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we're gonna go into the book.
Okay, my name is Kendra Banning. By day, I work for Enterprise, their own car company.
Okay.
But by night, I'm a motivational speaker and an author. So I'm looking to get into film and production now.
Okay.
And kind of got started. It really was a premonition from God to get into the motivational speaking and women empowerment world. I had a lot of friends that come to me for advice and things like that. And kind of just happened all at once. 3 women called me in the same day, and God saying, hey, you got something that women need, so I need you to go out and start speaking to women about the issues that we're dealing with. You've been through a lot of things in your life, such as divorce, overcoming many obstacles. So I took it upon myself to be obedient to the call and just go out and speak to women.
And that's a good thing because when women go through divorce as well as life traumas, we need somebody to talk to, and it always don't be family. It's kind of hard to go to your family. You kind of want to go with somebody that you can relate to that situation. So I know when we first met you, I know you was telling us a lot about your testimony, and I thought you were very, very influential to be on this panel. First, I'm gonna tell y'all about Lipstick and Politics. So Lipstick and Politics is a forum for us to bring women together to, first of all, to celebrate each other, but also to speak on community issues and see how can we get involved. We know that it is so hard with women being able to, I'm not just going to say women, but the community being able to go to the city council. It's not so much it's not their hard, it's just they don't go. And I think it's just because we're not educated on it. And before we get into that, I know Lakeisha, you are a city council woman who
I
sits
am.
on the city council here in Stockbridge. And I'm just kind of let you introduce who you are and what you do, because honey, she's a lawyer. And we can sue somebody.
Hi, I'm Lakeisha again. I'm a wife, a mother, and a city councilwoman for the city of Stockbridge. And I also am a lawyer. I've been practicing for about 13 years. I do a lot of real estate law right now and work with some of the businesses as well, and do some contracts. And you're absolutely right. A lot of people can't come out to the community. Come out to the city council
Mhm.
meetings, or they just don't. But one of the things that's really important, even right now, for instance, um, yes, the presidential election is extremely important, but local elections are more important, and I can't express that enough to people. I don't think people realize that only not even 12% of the community elects your people to represent you. And the things that you want to go on, the actual widening of streets, having parks, having boys and girls clubs, having different things, starts with your local government. It has
Exactly.
nothing to do with your federal and state government.
Exactly.
It's all about local. So local is important, and that's very key in it. People have it so backwards. When we talk about federal, we normally talk about federal funding, but the money that you see is from your SPLOST funds and things that we're
Mhm.
doing here in the community. So it is good. It's good. I'm glad that you invited me here for this. I think this is a need for women and a need for our community to really sit back and understand how government works and
Yes.
what is important and what are some of the things that we really need to be aware of.
Yeah.
On the legal side, I'm happy to have my law business. It can have its good days and bad. I could be stressed one day and I could
I think that's with
enjoy the rest.
anything.
And I
Yeah.
think that's anything. But um, you know, to juggle all of that and be a wife and a mother, it takes a lot of prayer, and I definitely keep God first. Um, and I thank the community for having my back. You rely on the support of your sisters.
Hmm. Okay, what I really wanted to say and piggyback on what you just said, Lakeisha, is that people have it mixed up as far as voting. So for me, I want to ask a question: do you think it's the media that has, because the media hyping not the local one, but the national one, but not the local one. It's more people hear it on the news, they hear it on the radio, they're hearing it, so it's kind of like propaganda where they keep hearing it, hearing it, hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that has something to do with it? Because maybe on a local level, I would say it's not being projected to the community to come out because they're not hearing it as much, or do you think it's just maybe downplayed?
Right. You know what? I think, to be honest with you, the media does play a key role, but also the lack of people reading for themselves and understanding the history and the background. They just take the words from someone else. For instance, you could ask someone, why are you a Democrat or why are you a Republican? They don't know. They only know that their mother and their father was a Democrat and that
that's
they were
true.
Republican, and they only go and vote during the presidential elections. But those local elections are the most important elections.
Exactly.
Those are the ones that get what you need in your community done. Other people don't have that say. The President of the United States is not telling someone that you need to fix your pothole holes down your street and widen your roads and put new equipment in your park.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your elected local officials. And I can't tell you, I think I want to say I made history. I had over 800 votes in Stockbridge, and that's the most anybody has ever had.
Wow.
800 out of 30,000 people here. That's totally unacceptable. That means 800 people decided who was going to, elect and who was going to make the decisions for their community. There are 5 of us on the panel, 5 of us on the council, just like anything else, from state representatives to senators. And now we have other things. We have this education opportunity district that the wording sounds all great and fancy and sounds so good, and the violins are playing, when in fact it very well, in my opinion, is a detriment to our students. But if you don't hear it, you don't read it, and you don't question it, you just don't know. And sometimes, even local, I could write something out and people just take what I say for what it is on Facebook instead of understanding the real story. People will take credit for the work that you do,
Yeah.
but they don't
sure
know
will.
that they take credit for your stuff all the time, and they don't. And people believe it because they say, "Well, it's in the media, so it must be true." And you have to educate yourselves on what's really going on. I'm not saying the presidential race by far; it is very important. Let's get that. We know that's important, but our local elections on what you want your cities and your counties and your state to look like is so important. So those years that they don't have a presidential election or a senator who's putting all that ad money out, you still need to be out there voting. And women,
I know,
in Georgia have the power.
Ooh, ain't we got a power,
so unbelievable. In fact, when we have the panel, I'm going to try to remember to bring out just the statistics.
Please, yes.
It is amazing that if every woman voted, what we are the determining factor on who sits up where. And it's amazing.
Do y'all hear that? I want y'all to hear that. Can you say that one more time?
It is. It's a matter of, and the numbers don't lie. The women that are registered to vote, and if you actually go out to vote, we could change Georgia. Just the women alone. We wouldn't need anyone else to change Georgia.
Well, let me tell you why. When I went to them and I said we got to do something about it, because people's perception of this whole who run the world and who do this and who that, and how we got to that. I was at the hair salon getting my hair did one day, and I was talking about getting bold and community service, because people see me on Facebook. I am in the community, but when this girl said she wasn't gonna vote, now this was like before school got out. I said, well, why you ain't gonna vote? I asked just to see what the response gonna be, and what she said was so stupid, and I was like, I had to really think to myself, I can't retaliate at her because she just don't know.
Right.
So that's when I went back to the Atlanta Women of Wealth and I said, listen, brunches and lunches is good, women empowerment is great, but if we can't empower them with knowledge, then we ain't doing our job.
Right.
So I said, what we need to do as women and as a community is come together, pull people people that we don't know. That's how we contacted you all.
Right.
We didn't know. We just met her right today. Kendra, we've been in contact with her, but I wanted to reach out to people who know the issues, who knows what the problems are. How can we solve it? And I thought lipstick and politics is something we're not going to do just one time. It's something that we want to do quarterly, so that we can bring other women from other communities together, and we can actually form something bigger to kind of help y'all, because you can't do it by yourself.
That's right.
You cannot do this by yourself, and everybody got so much to say, but you ain't going to the city council meeting, really finding out what's going on. You going by what you think, what
That's
you
right.
hear, what somebody else said, but what about really what's going on? So that was the reason why we just put the lipstick on it, because we want to keep it feminine. Hopefully we have a woman that comes in office, and I think that'll open up the doors for young girls to be you, to be you. We wanted them to see why these roles are so important. Law is so important. Women empowerment is so important. We gotta say our spirit has to be fed. Besides us going to church and believing in God, we still have to feed ourselves some positive knowledge.
Right.
That's the key.
That's right.
So I'm gonna ask you, what made you get into law?
People ask me that all the time, and you know what? The honest answer is, when I was young, I probably was in the fourth or fifth grade. I said I was going to be a lawyer. I probably didn't know what a lawyer really did at that time, but I stuck with it. And I joined the debate teams in high school, and I did all of that, and went to college and um, majored in English, because most of the lawyers I heard majored in English and poli sci, and so I was an English poli sci major, and went to law school and enjoyed it. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and more so now I see it in myself, um, that God has a place for me that He's not finished with. And I want to say, when I say that, whether it's, I thought I was going to go down one path, whether it is me running for a judicial position, or a higher position in government, or whatever that case may have been. I kind of stumbled upon government and love it. I love it because I'm able to be within the community and do things for the community.
Grassrooting.
And it's so powerful to be able to have that feeling of knowing that you're trying to make a difference and that you are making a difference.
Yeah.
And when I got into law, um, after I passed the bar, and I passed the bar in both Illinois and in Georgia, and I'm from here, born and raised, and from Forsyth, Georgia, in fact, and just loved it. Um, love when, and people say, when you practice law, you truly practice law, because you're learning something new all the time. Lawyers don't have all the answers, but um, it's something about service, just the service of helping people. And when people think law, they think of courtroom, they think of people getting people out of jail. But there are so many other things. Being able to watch people get their first home,
Yeah.
and being able to talk to people about air property and why it's not a good idea, and what you need to do to get things in order, and how people, families are destroyed, specifically a lot of African American families, because they have it backwards. And so to educate and to know the law is just another tool to use in life, whether I was a lawyer or just a mom working at home. The fact that I have that background, I'm blessed. And so whatever I do in life in the future, whether I continue to practice law, or work at home and play with the kids, I know the law, and I'm able to read and do things for the betterment of the community. And I think that's worth more than anything.
Well, honey, you have to always know your good old lawyer, child. So now y'all know Lakeisha. Because Lakeisha can go back to back for you. She already know how to debate, and that's what I love. That's what I love. Switch gears a little bit. I want to kind of go to Kendra. And the reason why I want to go to you is because I want to know what motivated you to write this book. Y'all got to go get her book.
Okay, yeah. So I got started writing a book because, like you said, as women, we go through so much, and sometimes you just need a guide, something you can fall back on. When I got started doing motivational speaking, I went to talk to a SCORE mentor and wanted to talk to her about starting a nonprofit organization for women, because I'm just passionate about helping women. I want to see women win in life in general, and know that a setback doesn't determine your future, that you can get up and move forward. And so
It's a setup.
it's a setup, right? And so what better way than to put it in a book?
Put it in a book, girl.
And let me tell you, I get so many phone calls with women with so many different issues. And I said, girl, you just need to get the book. Get the book. Every day you can't call and get me on the phone, Once you got that book in your hand, you can go back and you can read that book and you can find what it is you're looking for, because it's something in there that can relate to every woman, whether you've lost a loved one, whether you've lost a job, whether you had a kid at an early age. It talks about just moving forward. So I just wanted to present something as a guide. And one of the most special things I would say is having a 15-year-old daughter who can sit down and read her mother's book. That was the biggest
Oh,
blessing.
that's good.
That's awesome.
That was the biggest blessing for me. Before the book was actually published, she sent me a text message and said, "Mama, can I read your book?" It was on my computer. She was on my computer at the time. And, the tears just started to flow, because that was just,
And that it was the right thing
that
to
was
do.
the right thing to do. And then even now I have two teenage sons, one that's pretty much grown, he's 20, and a 16-year-old. And for them to sit down and read the book and say, "Mama, this is good." So I just want to be able to provide resources and know that when I leave here, that my work has been done, that I leave something that people could have as a reference, as a guide, someone in our community. And back to talking to the SCORE mentor, and I was talking to her about joining a nonprofit organization. She said, "You're a speaker. You need to go out and you need to speak. People need somebody they can relate to, someone that's been through some of the things that they've been through." And I got busy, and I've seen just the impact that it has made on the people around me. And so being able to make a difference is definitely one of the reasons why I wrote the book. And I plan to write more books so that I can provide all the resources and knowledge. And one of the things, like I said, our people perish because of lack of knowledge. But I want to put it out there, and I want to be able to reach the masses.
I think another thing too is that people don't ask.
Right.
One thing about it, like for me, now that I know you, I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and say, "Look, I need you to be like, I'm find out how is this, what is this supposed to be, or what should I do, or Kendra, what should I do after a divorce? I'm just, and I can actually now send people to you. I just think as women, we compete instead of collaborating with each other. And what it does is it draws us apart. I mean, further apart than drawing us closer together. And I just think we can just move a mountain if we could put our resources together, help one another, and just be able to just thrive. I mean,
Right.
I think that's why we cannot thrive is because it's a competition. I don't have a problem with giving another woman a compliment or saying how you do it, and that's why I started this show, because this is another outreach for people to be able to say, "Oh, okay, now when they hear, they may want to go write a book."
Right.
They can call you and say, "Can you be a coach for me to write a book?" Because it's not that hard as they were thinking. Now it takes time. Don't get that wrong. You gotta get that right now. It takes time. But here's somebody right here that's right here in the Atlanta area. It ain't like you are Wayland, California, in your books. So now she can go get her books on Amazon. She can go get her books out here. It's all a product that you're selling.
Right, and that's one of the things that when I do my speaking and I do some of the videos I talk about, we hear the stories of Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey, but now here you say it, someone on a local level. And, one of the guys said that to me last night at my book signing. He said, when I think about a phenomenal woman, I think about you now. Not Oprah, somebody that they can sit down
tangible.
beside, right, tangible, and have that real conversation and say, wow, if she did it, I can do it. And that's how I was. I also spent time in the military. I'm an Army veteran. I was a sergeant in the military. And I would just look at my peers, and sometimes I'm running beside a woman who's 60 years old or a man who's 60 years old. And I said, if he can do it, I can do it. And so that's what I want people to know. If Kedra Speaks can do it, you definitely can do it.
And you definitely can do it. I'm just excited. I'm excited about Lipstick and Politics. I'm excited about the journey that we're on to be able to provide resources and outreach for women, not just for women, but for the community, for your family. We want young girls to know you, at whatever age you are, you can start to write a book. You can already study law. I mean, it's things that are, and not just that. Even when you get into the category of law, it's so wide that people don't even understand. They just think a lawyer is in the courtroom.
That's right.
Just like you just said, they just think a motivational speaker just speaking. But you're doing more than just speaking. You are encouraging somebody else that they can do it. And that was the reason why we wanted to do Lipstick and Politics, because girls now, women now, those generic careers, it's so broad.
Right.
It can go so wide. You can do so many things. And that's like with me being in media. Same way. Oprah Winfrey was our burst. She like broke into the industry and showed you that you can get in there and do it. But now you can create a talk show just like I have a talk show. It's all about being able to connect. So for me, I'm a professional network worker, and it took a long time for me to understand my calling, my purpose. But honey, life will take you down some roads, and like Kendra just said, when a setup, no, you didn't say that. A setback is setting you up for your blessing.
Yes.
So I'm just excited, you all. Again, I just want to tell, how can people follow you?
Well, I'm on. I have a Facebook page, Lakeisha Gant, Stockbridge City Councilwoman, as well as my website, www.gantlegal.com.
I like that, Gant Legal, like get legal.
Gant
Gant
Legal.
Legal.
Gant is with two T's, Gantt. And just like my page. And I'm available anytime. Please feel free to reach out to me.
Okay. And how can people follow you?
Absolutely, they can follow me on every social media outlet. I'm Kedra Speaks on every social media outlet from Facebook to Instagram. Also, you can go to my website. It's www.kedraspeaks1.com, and there's a page on there if you want to contact me. My email address is kedraspeaks@gmail.com. Please feel free to go on my website, get the book.
Get the book.
Get the book.
Get the book. Get the book. We're going to get a book too. Get the book. Most definitely. We're excited about Lipstick and Politics. We ain't going to give all y'all the nuggets. We ain't going to talk about it out here. Come to Lipstick and Politics. But we are excited about Lipstick and Politics. We're excited about the whole panel being able to collaborate. Because now I think since you know her, she knows you. Here's a whole nother connection that has been made. And that's how relationships are started. That's how business starts. You know, that she can actually not legalize your business. She can actually speak at your business. It's just, I want people to see how things can snowball.
Right.
And I don't think people see it. You know, the light bulb doesn't come on until after we have failed trying to do it by ourselves. We cannot do it by ourselves. We have to have somebody that can help us. So I'm just going to ask y'all one question before we go. What is a tidbit that you would give someone who's out here who wants to be in law? Who wants to be in law? Because you actually, one thing I left out about her is that she's one of the first black women. Tell them what you call her. I don't get to tell them.
Which one?
Look, tell them both of them. Look at that. I like that. Which one?
No. I mean, I was the first African American solicitor here in the city of Stockbridge.
Wow.
And I was the first staff attorney for the Superior Court judge in the Tallahassee Circuit, plus Lamar Monroe County. And that was years ago. It's been a blessing. It is something that, I don't take lightly. And one thing I would do for young women out there, I don't care what age you are. I don't care if you're 80, 92. I would read. I would educate myself. I would definitely keep your faith in knowing that you can do anything that you want to do. And exactly that. If you stumble, trip, and fall, you need to get back up and keep going at it. Life is not perfect. I've learned that in so many ways. I have setbacks all the time. I think that it is important that you know what it is. I think it's important that that you get all the information that you want for a particular thing that you want to do, and find that support system. By nature, I think women want attention, so maybe that's one of the reasons that a lot of women don't get together. But we have to overcome those things, and we have to help each other. It's kind of like keeping it within your family, and so we have to start doing that. And in order you can do it. You can do anything you want to do. A living testimony to that. It's kind of funny that I hold myself back, and I'm willing to.
We
say
all
that.
do.
When I'm afraid to jump, like Steve Harvey, I love that thing he did that time. When I'm afraid to jump, I have a setback from that. But when I just go out there, I'm always successful, and it started that way. I've always, when I just ask for things, or I pray about it and I focus on it, it happens. And you can too. And that's something that I think everybody needs to know. You can always do it. I don't care if you don't have any money in your pocket. When there's a will, there is a way.
Wow. Okay, Kesra.
Wow, Lakeisha summed it all
I did
up.
she sum it up, honey, in a good old.
In a good way. One of the things I love that she said is focus. You got to be focused. You got to be determined. I always say I got the 3 Ds: it's determination, discipline, and dedication. Be dedicated to whatever it is that you want to do. Don't give up. You know, like I said, there are going to be distractions. There are going to be all kind of things standing in your way, trying to keep you from moving forward to reach the goals. I want you to know that you can do anything you set your mind to. One of the things I think I posted yesterday about there's always going to be an obstacle. You know, if I had more money, if I went back to school, those are just excuses. Go around those. Set up, make a plan, start moving forward. You know, look out, reach out to me as a business coach. You need a coach, a mentor. Find someone that can help you get to where you're trying to go. There are people out here. Women are stepping up. I remember coming up and I really didn't have a whole lot of mentors, but I'm so glad to see us women sitting here together. More and more women are coming together to help one another along. So whatever it is you're trying to do, go after it. Do not give up and just reach for the stars because you can do it.
That is so great. Again, everyone, make sure that you follow these ladies. If you need a coach, you got one right here. If you want to go to law school, you can even get a coach for her to tell you what you need to do. It's right here for you to do it. Again, everyone, you're tuning in to another episode of On Social with Nikki Nicole. I am your host, Nikki Nicole, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you.
Y'all did so good. I can't wait for Lipstick Politics.